One element of having the best character is blending conflict with compromise. Um, One of the most classic conflict stories is Batman and Superman, and how their beliefs and their tactics and the way they go about both performing the same duties, which is protecting and saving innocence and protecting mankind, um, generates a lot of conflict between both of them. And it makes for some awesome stories to be able to have different points of view depending on what the mission is at hand. But being able to get that right balance of conflict and compromise. I mean, if you go too far, if you go too far into the conflict, you're a douchebag Steve. You're just, you show up, you're an a-hole, nobody wants you there, and everyone's just kind of, uncomfortable, and they really want you to leave. They want you to stop. And it's not that you're a bad person. Sometimes people want to, we all know role playing relieves stress. In our normal lives, we're picked with. Sometimes we feel like we're worthless. People don't see us for who we are. We're not living the life that we dream. And so we use role playing to exercise those demons out of us. And sometimes those demons become conflict with other people. And that includes conflict character to character in game. Sometimes it can go from player to player, conflicting with them about how they should play their character versus you, how you want to go first and hog all the spotlight versus them. And believe me, I've been guilty of this plenty of times. And it's realizing that conflict can be creative. I'm a person who's very much about create, not destroy. And you want to create that conflict. And the creative version of that conflict can be drawing in a shy person, a brand new player, and get them to speak up for themselves. Almost like challenging them to stand their ground and then let them win. There's a great scene in Fight Club where Brad Pitt is like, hey guys, brings everybody together, and he's like, I want you all to pick a fight and lose. The best characters pick fights and lose. Pick a point, try to stand on it, and then get beaten down as, hey, you're wrong about doing that. You're wrong about wanting to kill the orc babies and pregnant orc women. You're wrong. And go, okay, you know what? You're right. This time, you know what? I see your point, and I'm going to bend. Let's go the other way. If you go towards too much compromise, you can pretty much make a vanilla character. I mean, just every time something happens, sure, okay. That's people like to play neutral alignment that way, man. It's just, I'll just go along with whatever anyone says. Now, a lot of brand new players do the same thing. They're unsure of themselves. They're not sure if they're making the correct decisions. They see 90% of the group saying, let's go left. They don't want to say, let's go right. So they go along with it. And you don't want to railroad other players. When you are in your own group, you don't want to railroad other players. For example, let's say someone's creating a fighter or a very battle-heavy character, and you know the system, and you're saying, well, you feel like they're not playing it right. If you start to tell them how to do it, and then they compromise with it, they never learn to make their own mistakes or learn different ways of doing things, or even allow the game master to see someone play a character in a completely different manner. The absolute best characters blend conflict and compromise. Take a look at Lord of the Rings. You got Legolas and Gimli, and here they are, characters who are supposed to have conflict with each other. Racially, we're not supposed to like each other, but in the movie they turn it into a almost comic relief, like well, that only counts as one, and it's silly, but it actually summarizes the conflict that both those characters have in a nice, simple little format, make it comedic, and they're both able to go on and have great adventures with each other. Sometimes revisiting the same conflicts over and over in the group can be awesome too, where one character's good, one character's evil, and each character decides to both conflict and or compromise with the other one. Let's say the evil character agrees with the paladin or compromises with the paladin and says, okay, you know what, fine, we're not going to kill him, but they're going to come back at us. They're going to go back to their friends, and that orc horde is going to come after us, and our mission's going to be dead. Okay, evil character, you made your point, but you also compromise with that player. You move on. Game Master says, great, I got a great story idea. Okay, the evil horde does come. Now, the paladin can now conflict with the evil character. It's like, you know what? In this situation, my moral standing is that we should not have done this. So I will stand and protect you and fight for you because this was a decision that I made. Yes, you may have been right. You may have been right tactically and strategically, but morally you were wrong. And yet at the same time fight side by side with them. And of course this creates more story ideas. You get to kill more creatures. You may find some more loot, and you advance in level. Who in the world hates anything like that? So again, create characters who have a really good balance of conflict and compromise. Believe me, I know this is something that very advanced players, include myself, I've been probably playing games for over 30 years now, and even to this day it's very difficult to do that, especially with a new group of people or playing in a game system you're not sure of. But believe me, it's very, very rewarding. If you find yourself you're conflicting with people too much, compromise with them a little bit. Maybe throw them off balance a little bit. Maybe you're compromising too much. Hey, we're always agreeing about what we're going to do. We're always doing that. And throw out, hey, let's go right instead of left, and see what they say. And then after that scene is done, then go along with it. But anyway, conflict and compromise. See what you can do with it. Thanks.